there is something about M. So guys, today I'm here at the KL Pack, alright, and just been treated to a performance, well, a musical performance, well, starring these people here, directed by Freddie Tan, with featuring these Junji Delfino, Joe Wong, Praveen Arikia, Siti Farah Abdullah, Yon Lin. So this was a special play, alright, musical play that was scripted for Mercedes-Benz Malaysia. So Mercedes-Benz Malaysia has been a founding sponsor of KLPAC. They have been a steadfast sponsor of this place right from day one. That's why they have launched a lot of cars here. I've attended many Mercedes launches here in KLPAC, but because of the ongoing pandemic, this place had to shut down. And for the first time in 377 days, today, 28th October, is the day that, you know, a performance took place here for the first time, and the occasion is to mark the launch of the new locally assembled A-Class sedan. So anyways, the performance is over, right? And they've also unveiled the car. Let me just go inside and show you guys the stage where the cars are parked. So down there is where they showcase the car. All right, to the right we have the A-Class sedan over there, and right there we have also, well, this was a surprise really. This was not mentioned beforehand, but they have also announced that the GLA is officially launched in Malaysia as a CKD model. Okay, so let's take a closer look. Over here we have the A250 AMG line. Over there we have the GLA 200 progressive line, and well, there are 4 variants in total between these two models: A200 progressive line, A250 AMG line, GLA 200 progressive line, GLA 250 AMG line. All right, so the A-Class sedan here, this is, well, pretty much the same familiar shape as we have seen from the CBU model. Okay, and of course pricing has become more competitive, but Mercedes has chosen not to undercut the price point of the BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe. So even the A200 sedan is priced at about 220,000 ringgit, which I think is fair, because you see, at the end of the day, the 218i Grand Coupe is a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine, whereas the A200 1.3 litres, but it's a 4-cylinder engine with higher outputs. All right, and to be honest, between this and the 2 Series Grand Coupe, I think the A-Class sedan has more natural body proportions. So between this and the 2 Series Grand Coupe, my choice actually would be the A-Class sedan. All right, and if I hadn't mentioned earlier, both these cars are now assembled locally in Pekan, and this is not a small investment by Mercedes-Benz, because previously their assembly line in Pekan was catered for the C-Class, S-Class, E-Class, GLC, GLE, the rear-wheel drive models, the longitudinal engine rear-wheel drive models. This is the first time that Mercedes-Benz is assembling the transverse engine MFA platform cars in Pekan. So they needed to expand the production facility in the DRB Haikon plant with a third production line in order to cater for the making of these new models. All right, so before I take you on a closer look to the GLA, let's have a quick view of the A-Class sedan first. I featured this car before, so we will not spend too much time in this. Just do a quick run through. Okay, starting with the boot. Okay, so inside here you can see, well, hey, this boot is big enough for 2 large suitcases, gooseneck hinges, but they covered it, so means that when you load things into the car, these hinges won't get in the way of your loading. And underneath here there is also a hidden compartment which stores away, amongst other things, a tire inflator kit. All right, so and here the rear section of the cabin. Oh my god, the lighting is a bit dark here. All right, you've got rear blowers, you've got a USB-C port, semi leather with sort of like Alcantara inserts here. The Isofix mounts are exposed, so here armrests, flip out armrests. Okay, but these red contrast stitchings are nice. It gives it gives the seats a bit more of a highlight. You've got 3 individually adjustable headrests. Now let me adjust the driver's seat further forward first lah. This is a bit too far back. I think I shall move it forward to roughly my seating position. It's about there. Now I'll come inside. Here I'm 170 centimeters tall, remind you. Okay, headroom, I've got about 2 fingers of headroom. My current haircut, just the tip touching the roof a bit, but good lean angle. But I find the seat cushion a little low, a little short, so might not be great for extended long distance drives at the back here. Okay, not the most spacious rear accommodations, but you need the C-Class. You have the C-Class if you want a bigger rear space. All right, so here is the, wow, okay, so this is, the steering is obviously set in a very low position. All right, and well, this is the familiar cabin that we have seen a few times in various versions of the A-Class. Of course, you see this wide screen, virtual instrument cluster, 2 separate screens built into one housing. This is the new generation Mercedes steering wheel. Now this is obviously too low for me lah. Let me just raise this. We got a flat bottom here. Okay, and underneath here, okay, so the key is in the car. Let me just start up the electronics. Okay, so start, and of course, wow, beautiful graphics, very crisp. And you can see you can see there are 2 touch pads here. All right, this one controls this screen here that allows you to navigate through these menus, and when you flick it this way, then it controls. So you see there's this yellow highlight here that shows which screen that you are manipulating. When you move over this side, the yellow highlight is here. All right, and this pad allows you to interact with the center screen. Okay, let me just test. Okay, this is something that that is still there with Mercedes. This panel here, I feel the fit and finish can be a bit better. Over here you've got this USB-C port, and this is this console box, decently sized, can drop your smart tag, maybe a bottle. Not very big, but decently sized. This is, however, very generous. Okay, you can see, is there a wireless tray there? No, there isn't, but there's a USB-C port here as well. All right, so it's still big enough to drop your phone, And of course this, right, you press this out, you can push the holders there, or you can close this, you can pull this up. I think you can remove this. I believe you can remove this, but I'm not going to force it. Alright, the switchgear quality, honestly, in my opinion, this panel here, the quality really can and should be further improved. Glove box is of a decent size. Alright, and here the seat, okay, so this is adjustable outwards, that's good. And over here, this is the door card, this door handle. Also, I think aesthetically it's very pleasing, but the installation really could be made a bit more solid. But this is a very nice way of positioning the lock and unlock button. They don't have one for the front passenger seat, so what it means, front passengers, if let's say like the driver goes down to tapao food, front passenger have to stretch to the other side to lock and unlock the doors. Alright, so now let's go and check out the GLA. So even before, the GLA is not the biggest crossover in its segment against the X1, against the XC40, but the thing is that now Mercedes has the GLA next to the GLB. So if you want a compact car platform and you want a bit more utility, there is now the GLB. The GLA therefore can continue its, to preserve its small compact size and continue to serve its current legion of owners. All right, that's always been attracted to its funky styling and also its compact size. So here we have the GLA 200 progressive line, and one of the first things that I noticed when observing the car is that the rims are rather conservatively sized. Well, they look conservatively sized, but these are actually 18-inch wheels, right? From afar they look like 16s, but they are actually 18-inch wheels. So amazing how car design has gone in recent times, that 18s actually look small in this car. Okay, so well, this is now the Mercedes signature SUV, 4 square lighting signature. All right, overall the rear end very neatly designed. Okay, and you have a very neat lower bumper with a chrome treatment and a diffuser. So you have all these side panels underneath, and right here the headlights. Wow, check this out. So I quite like this design feature where you have this line down here, this 2-piece daytime running light, and here we have the progressive line front end. We've got power bulges on the bonnet as well. So this is the progressive line grille. Later I'll go and check out the AMG line version, but for now we'll go to the back and check out the luggage space. So as we all know, with the previous GLA, utility wasn't a very strong point of GLA, and it doesn't look like it is here because this looks like a smaller boot than the A-Class sedan right next to it, but the hidden compartment underneath is larger. Right, there's a hook here to hang items, but that's about it. So there is at least powered closing. And we come here to the back seat. Now let me push the front seat forward first, and this should be about my sitting position. All right, so the back seats, wow, the seat cushion here look rather shallow. Once again, isofix mounts here surprisingly exposed, but you do get split folding seats, and they managed to angle this with a nice seamless floor, so that's nice. Wow, no real armrest. Wow, okay. And let me just sit inside. Mind you guys, I'm 170 centimeters tall, got a fist of headroom above me. Honestly, the rear seat cushion, well, the support really is very average. The length of the seat bench is nice, but perhaps they are also keeping in mind that the GLA is also a car of choice for many young families with with younger children. So with young kids and small legs, well, you obviously don't, with a longer bench, the legs will be dangling, and they probably want to cater for that. But the price, of course, is that for adults there's a bit of a compromise. Let me just adjust the steering. And yeah, now I think they could have changed this graphic here to reflect the actual headlight design of the GLA. Alright, so now once again the key fob is in there. I'm going to start up the electronics of the car. Okay, honestly, this graphic annoyed me. I wish they had created they had made that graphic with a matching headlight. I think they totally should. Okay, wow, this is deep, man. This is deeper than the one in the A-Class, but overall the layout is similar. This is the same panel, but the fastening of this panel is tighter than the A-Class, I would say. Okay, switch gear quality is nice. Okay, yeah, but this panel is fastened more tightly than the one in the A-Class. Nice material inserts here. So overall, a nice looking cabin. This steering wheel has a rounded bottom edge. All right, and the door card here is a taller door card. So, and they also have this door handle here. All right, as a this chunk. Well, it's a two-piece lah. So this metal finish here, it starts here, top, and ends here. Inside there is a textured plastic piece. So it's a two-piece. Okay, but they angle it in such a way that when you look at it from your eye perspective, you look at it, you only see the metal, but the plastic is inside there in the bits where you don't see it. Very, very clever. All right, so this is the GLA 200 progressive line, and I'll bring you guys outside to check out the other display cars.
When I switched to Pro Mileage, in my case, I got 46-47% of savings for that car.
Pro Mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less. Turn up!
Right, so we're in the outdoor display area. This is the A250 AMG line that I showed you earlier inside. Now over there, this is the base A200, all right, progressive line trim. So the difference between this and the AMG line trim there are, well, you can see firstly the grille. On the AMG line trim, this is all silver, it chromed, whereas here is gloss black. This, well, this fake out vent here is smaller than it is in the AMG line trim. Headlights, these are LED, these are still LED high performance headlights here, same as what you get here with the 250. Okay, now rim design is different between the AMG line trim there and the 200 progressive line here, but they're the same size, right? Tires 225 45 18s, and let me just quickly show you the insides. Okay, so here is here are the rear seats. Okay, so same shape as the one inside, but of course with a different upholstery. This example you see here, all black leather, all black interior. Well, first thing you notice, no flat bottom steering, and oh my god, Manuals, the passenger seats are manual. All right, you know Mercedes puts their electric seat adjustment here on the door, so one eye from here you can also see passenger seats are manual. One look at this, it looks rather bare, all right, if I am to be honest with you. Okay, looks bare, all right, but it's a 30,000 ringgit price gap between this and the 250. Okay, so this is the GLA 250 AMG line. As you can see from the front, this looks much more aggressive in comparison with the progressive line example that we saw inside there. The wheels 19-inch, one size up from the GLA 200. All right, from the back now you can see there's the addition of this chrome strip at the bottom. I don't think we need to re-explore the boot space, nor do we need to look into the rear seats, but we'll just take a quick look here in the cabin. Now once again, like the A250, there's the flat bottom treatment to the steering wheel here. All right, yeah, and the trim, okay, so this is a brushed metal trim, looks pretty classy, but overall, well, it looks pretty much like what we saw earlier in the GLA 200, but with a nicer selection of materials, a more sporty selection of materials. Okay, so between the GLA 200 and 250, really the biggest difference has to be the exterior styling, the front package. The GLA 250 versus the GLA 200, the 250 here definitely looks a lot more expressive, a lot more aggressive, whereas between the A200 and the A250, the difference is a bit more subtle. But either we look at it, this is this launch has been a long time coming. Okay, it has been held back because of the ongoing lockdowns, pandemics lah, MCOs lah, whatnot. So it's this would have been two separate launches had it not been because of the lockdown. All right, but plenty of things going to be happening in the coming months. Mercedes is catching up for lost time. This is I've heard news about this A-Class CKD program all the way back from Mark Rain's days. So it's great to see this project finally come to fruition, and there'll be more to come. All right, in the months to come, Mercedes will have to launch the new generation S-Class, and I suppose in maybe later down the road in 2022 there will also be the new C-Class due to make its arrival. All right, so that's all for today's video, guys. As is usual, take care out there, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.